Hey guys, this is Mark here with Amity Technology. Today we're going to do a service bulletin on our Beet cart chain. We've got a few little steps that we've kind of found out over the last year or so that can maybe help with taking some stress off our rods on our Beet cart chain. What we have here is just a small section of our current chain, and we'll be using this today to go over, give you a little visual on what we're asking or recommending to be done to our chains that we have out in our carts now. The first thing we might remember is we sent out a bulletin about these steel fingers that actually go on our rods that fill up this gap here. And we had a bulletin out before where we asked you guys to remove these steel fingers just to help take some stress off of our rod. I just have these sitting on here loose, so I'll take this one off. And some of you may already done this process on your chain, which is good. But we're asking that you consider maybe taking this one step further. And what we're talking about doing here is these plastic flights that are on our rods, we're actually going to go through and we're going to take this center one and move it back 2 lengths. And the whole theory of that is just to get a little stress off of our rods and our chain. Now by doing that, we're going to have to grind out some rivets, holding our rod to the belt, take these little circular stops off, and then we can slide everything off of the chain. We're going to start off with, I just got a couple more rivets to take out here, and we'll get the show on the road. Okay, after we drilled out our rivets, we just took a punch, pushed out the rest of the way, and now our rod is free from the belt. So then we're going to take, and these little stops, flight stops, I've taken liberty of taking some off, but we'll have to remove these from the rod. These threads might be in a little tough shape, possibly. May not come off as nice and easy as this did. After we have all 4 collars off, we can kind of pull our rod back and we start feeding these pieces off of our rod. And you might notice this piece here, this is actually just a little plastic spacer with a slit in it, so they'll pull right off and on the rods because we'll have to actually move one back. So we'll take this off of our center section of our chain. Okay, now I need to get this spacer off here, and they should come off pretty easily. Oop, I see I got one more stop to get rid of here, because we won't be needing that on this portion of the rod anymore. Okay, so now we can actually start going and putting our items back to rods. I've already got rid of those rivets just to speed things up a little bit. We'll try to get this thing started back on this rod here again. There we go. Slide it over and just push it on. Now we'll take our plastic flight again. Now once we slide this back on the rod, we have to a little soap on that may make this a little easier. Now we have to pry this back and get our rods situated and the clips surrounding the rod above it. There we go. Okay, so now we got our flight put on, 2 rods back. We can go ahead and slide our outside rod on from where we took it off. Okay, after we've got our flight moved, back 2 rods, then we'll go through, we'll install our little stop collars alongside this. This will go back on the rod. In all 4 locations, there'll be 2 on this flight and of course 2 on the front. Keeping in mind, I'm trying to keep it lined up with the flight behind us. So, all right, I just kind of showed you here. I'll finish this off later. But what we'll do to secure our rods back down to the shaft or to the belts now is we have this little backing plate and these metric bolts. So we can just come through here, taking this backing plate, threaded mind you, and we're going to put that in this drive notch, and we'll kind of run some metric bolts through. Okay, now when we're securing our rod back down to the belt, we want to keep a little eye for getting the proper tension. You could probably notice just that little bubble out there. Well, we want to just bring it down hard enough just to cause a little bubble there. We got to be careful that we don't over tension these, or we could strip the threads out in our plate. Now we'd go through at all our locations and put these bolts back in place, and just like we did here, and we'd go throughout our chain, our whole chain, doing the same process. Okay, after we've got our bolts back in and our backing plates back all in place, we're gonna have to take a grinder, and there's gonna be a little nub of the bolt here that we're gonna have to take our grinder and smoothen that off. Like I said, the only thing we've seen is we take some tension or stress off of this rod. We're just by moving the center flight back 2 rods. Got any questions, just give us a call here at Amity, and we may be able to walk you through it and with any questions that you might have. Thanks.